guys? My name is Hunter and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel for the first time. So I put up a poll on my page like a week ago, a few days, and just kind of, first of all, saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed. My channel has kind of escalated in subscribers recently, and a lot of it has to do with one specific video. But I still want to say thank you to everybody. You know, like 2 months ago, I had 200 subscribers. Now I'm up at about 1,200. So I appreciate everybody who's here. But anyway, I put up a post saying thank you for the 1,000 when I hit that, and then also asking what kind of content you guys would like to see. Usually this channel has been primarily camera related, but I have been making a lot of music recently and diving more into home studio setups. And surprisingly, on the poll, the two most voted items were A, music studio, like home studio content, or music/Logic tutorials. And I put Logic. I recently switched over to Ableton. So, well, kind of switched over. I still use both, but I'm trying to get more into Ableton. Point being is the most votes went to the music content and the home studio content. So I'm going to start putting out some videos with that kind of stuff too. This channel's never really had like a direct niche, so I hope it doesn't drive anybody away. But if it does, farewell. Anyway, this video is going to kind of just go over my base studio setup, the gear that I have, the gear that I use on a daily basis for creating music. I have everything from guitars to actual synths, plus a ton of stuff on my DAW. With that being said, today I'm just going to show you the gear that I use pretty much every day to make music and kind of fiddle around and learn new things and create sounds that hopefully sound good together in some way, shape, or form. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I do want to put a disclaimer that I am moving in less than a month, and when I move, it's going to be set up a lot better, and I will do another kind of update on a home studio when I move, because I'm going to have a full room to myself to make a studio, whereas right now I'm in a studio apartment. It's all one room, so I just kind of have everything laid out as good as I can and as effective as I can. So it's not beautiful by any means. The cable management is absolute shit. But once I move and have a better place to set it up, it will be a lot more efficient. So this is more so the gear, not so much the setup. The setup will come later, I promise. I'm also getting a new audio interface here soon. That is my next purchase, and that will eliminate me having to plug in things and unplug things every day when I'm swapping gear. So my next purchase is a new audio interface, and so right now I'm running the Focusrite Scarlett Solo, and so I only have one XLR and one instrument input, which isn't awful, but for somebody who likes modular gear and more hands-on physical, it doesn't work very well. So that's the next upgrade, and then that will also help cable management as well, because I'm not just sitting here with 20 cables that aren't plugged in on my desk just because I'm waiting to plug them in. So that actually brings up the first piece of gear. So right now I am running a Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. It's the Gen 2, so it's still runs off of USB-B, while the new one is USB-C. And so I don't know exactly what I'm going to get. I think I might get the 18i20 just to future-proof whatever I need, but I haven't decided yet. I might stay with Focusrite. I might not. I probably will, but there's a couple other options on the table. But right now I am using that to do most of my audio input. Unless it is MIDI, then I'm just running USBs. And for MIDI, I have a couple devices that are always or usually plugged in. So the first one that I got, and I still use this for traveling or when I want to have like a smaller setup, and that is the Akai MPK Mini Mark III. So this device here is amazing. I don't use it as much as I would like to. The pads are great. The keys are great. It has the mini keys on it. And I love this thing because honestly, it's kind of the best all-arounder. But what this is usually used for nowadays is using it to control effects inside of Ableton. So I literally just plug this thing in to use these 8 endless encoders as effects. And I know that there's better things for that. I shouldn't have this entire thing on my desk just for effects. However, it works, and I have no need for anything else because I usually only need 8, give or take, effects at any given time, and the rest of them are controlled through other MIDI devices. So that's usually on the desk. I don't use it as much as I did when this is all I had as a keyboard, but you know, it's good. I like it. As soon as I got a full-size MIDI keyboard, I have trouble playing on this. I love the full keys. So the next kind of smaller device that I have on the desk, and we'll just kind of move in this direction around my setup. And this is one of the newer devices, and I love this thing. But this is my personal first modular synth. So this right here is the Arturia Micro Freak. And if you have never heard of this thing or seen it or really like watched videos on it, this thing is amazing. So first, you'll notice that the keys aren't actual keys. They're actually 3D printed, and they're kind of sensitive to aftertouch and how much skin is on them. So you can use that for a lot of really cool effects or pressure effects, which it has in the mod matrix. So up in the corner here, if you know anything about synths, you know that usually you have patches, which is going to be like physical cables that you're plugging in from one thing to another. This has got a digital matrix, which doesn't feel as hands-on, but it's actually really awesome because you have a ton of options and 3 user assignable options for patching. So again, this is an amazing option. You have CV outputs, gate outputs, MIDI in and out, clock in and out. It's super cool. I love it. I have a lot of fun with it, and I play with it almost every day. Next up. So in the studio, obviously, I have the Rode Pod mic. I won't jump into this too much. I have made a microphone video, and I'll probably still do a video on this. This is mostly my voiceover microphone for YouTube videos. I do use it for vocals occasionally when I want to cut out noise or I have other things playing and I don't want this to pick it up. This is really good at that, but it's mostly for voiceovers on YouTube. And then I use my Scarlett Studio microphone that you can see up there for vocals when I'm actually kind of recording music or setting up for performance style stuff. That is the microphone I use. That one is a condenser, while this is a dynamic. And so that picks up more lush sounds, while this is better at canceling out other sounds that aren't right in front of it, like so. So they have their own uses, but those are my 2 microphones that I use for multiple different things in the studio. If I'm sitting here at my desk, I'll usually use this just because it's right here. And when I'm standing up playing piano, I don't really want to take this off of the arm, so I use that, and it works fairly well. So pod mic over here on the arm, Scarlett Studio from the kit, like the Scarlett solo kit up on the arm over there for most vocals. Those 2 do just fine. Moving back here, I have the Launchpad X. So I was going back and forth between a few of the Launchpads. I landed on the X. It's kind of a good middle ground. I got this because I switched over to Ableton Live, mostly from Logic. I wanted to set up live performance style stuff, and while Logic's live loops is good, using that actually kind of pushed me to Ableton because I know it's a lot better. And after I switched over to Ableton and have been using it more and learning it, I really enjoy it. I'm still going to use both of them probably because I own Logic and it's better at composition, composing songs, singer-songwriter. If I'm working in a timeline, like a linear fashion, I like Logic better. If I'm working in a clip-based workflow, I like Ableton, but this is mostly used for launching clips. I also use it for finger drumming. I like using this better than the Akai MPK Mini because 8 pads get filled up pretty fast. I also like using this when I get lazy, when I'm wanting to play synth or piano, because it has a note mode where you can stick to a specific scale and it won't let you go out of that scale. And that just lives there right beside the keyboard. And then behind me, moving around, is the Arturia Keylab 61 Essential. So Arturia, I have their synth, their Keylab, and a couple of their plugins. And I've kind of fallen in love with Arturia in the recent weeks. All their stuff is awesome. I want to get their higher end Mark II Keylab when I go to my next DAW controller. But that Keylab 61 Essential is great. The keys feel good. It's got 8 faders and 8 knobs to control your DAW. It's got buttons to switch back and forth quickly, plus user mode. So when I'm especially performing like in a live scenario, I like to use the faders on that as volume so that I can keep my launch pad entirely launching clips or doing drums. So that kind of stays as a DAW controller. And then when I'm more doing a studio style workflow, that stays usually linked up to either the DAW or to Analog Lab, which is Arturia's software instrument hub, where they keep all of their emulations of synths and just tons of stuff. It is one of the best software packages I've ever used. You get the kind of base, still very full, like thousands and thousands of preset version of Analog Lab when you buy one of their controllers. But that Arturia Keylab, that line, if you are looking for like a full-size MIDI controller, or even they have a mini one, but I think that that's like one of the best options unless you have some other brand you like better. So that's always staying right behind me. You can see here. And then you can kind of see back here my laptop, if I move that. So my laptop is back here just on a microphone stand with a laptop table connected to it. And the reason I have that over there is because when I'm at the keyboard, let's just say like we flip this, my screen's here. If I'm sitting here at my keyboard, but I want to change up some settings in one of the sounds, the Keylab has a tiny screen that tells you what types of things you're adjusting inside of your presets or inside of your software, but I still like to see a screen, get like visual feedback. So I put my laptop on that stand so that when I'm at my keyboard, I don't have to turn my head to like a over 90-degree angle just to see my screen. So that's over there, and that's what I use to control whatever sound I'm working with on the keyboard. And then if I want to just kind of unplug from this big screen, I can just plug in my laptop to the keyboard and play without even worrying about it. So that's why that's over there. For instruments, in terms of like piano, synth, and that kind of stuff, that's really all I got right now. I do have an acoustic Yamaha guitar, which I'll throw a video up of, and a Washburn electric. Plus there is a Jackson bass in here as well, which is my girlfriend's, but I use it when I need to play a bass part that I want to actually play rather than just draw out in the DAW. And then under my desk down here, I have an orange amplifier. It's just a small like Crush 12, but it's super nice for small house or apartment because it's not super loud, but about as loud as I'd want it to get. It sounds great. I love orange. And also when I want to play guitar through something that's not just a software instrument, I can mic up that orange amp and it's perfect for playing into a recording through like an actual amplifier. And so that's what I use that for. We also got my girlfriend's acoustic electric Fender, I believe, guitar here as well. That one doesn't get played as much. The only good thing about that compared to my Yamaha is it's actually acoustic electric, so I can plug it in rather than have to mic it up to play guitar. But the guitars that haven't gotten touched in a while, I've really just been trying to dive really deep into piano. Those are part of the studio, so I had to mention them here. The speakers I have up here are just some cheap Amazon or bought off Amazon speakers. They're $99, Edifier 3.5 studio monitors, like close range. I really love these. Honestly, I got them because they were white. They had glowing reviews, and honestly, they are really great for $99. They've got a studio like monitor mode and then also a music mode. So they like color the audio a bit and make it sound better. Not a huge difference, but it's a cool feature and they work for what I need them to do. They are sitting on a like $10 foam speaker risers from Amazon as well, and I'll link all this stuff below in case you want to check it out. Also, the links that will be down below, they are affiliate links, so you still get the same price on everything if you buy from those, but it does help the channel out and it helps me make more content and get more gear to show you guys. So if you use those, thank you very much. And then past the speakers, honestly, that's really it for the studio for the most part. And everything's just kind of sprawled out right now on my desk. I'm on a 55-inch IKEA desk. I used to have a smaller version of this. So once I get into the new studio, I will be able to bring out the smaller one as well. and then I'm going to put it up into like an L configuration in the corner so that I have actually like more space. Because right now, you know, my Micro Freak and my MPK Mini and a lot of stuff go into the closet when I'm not using it. Even the Keylab does too, only because there's a cat that walks around here, Kimber. You can see her in the last video. I don't know where she is right now. She likes to climb on stuff, so I put everything up. But at the next place, there'll be a door, and also it won't be like in the way, because right now this keyboard's kind of in the walkway from my bedroom to my living room to my kitchen. So once I have that extra room and I can put up the second part to like my L desk configuration, then it'll look a lot nicer, and I will make a full like home studio tour video while this is just kind of home studio gear. Yeah, if you see anything here that you want to see videos on in the future, definitely let me know. I will 100% run through some stuff either way, because I want to do some more music related content. But if you see anything specifically that you want, or tutorials for anything in Logic and some stuff in Ableton, I'm still learning that, but once you know one DAW, it's pretty easy to move from one to the other, even though they're very different. But if you have any tutorials you want to see, let me know. If you want me to dive deeper into any of this gear and how I use it, let me know down in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed this video, think about giving it a thumbs up, or if you hated it, feel free to give it a thumbs down, because YouTube doesn't even show that anymore. Also, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. You don't have to. I'm not going to pressure you. But for anybody who does or has in the recent past, thank you very much. I appreciate all the support. And other than that, I will stop ranting, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day.